Our story begins with Emily, a young woman who always thought of herself as a mere supporting character in life. She lived with her grandmother, Grace, and had a reputation for being tough among the boys in her class. But everything changed in an instant.
Staring, speechless, is this really happening?
Emily was staring at a man impeccably dressed and incredibly handsome, standing right in front of her. This man was none other than James, the famous eldest son of the prestigious Su Group.
Gentle yet firm, yes, Emily, you are my biological sister, the fifth daughter of the Su family.
For someone who feared nothing, Emily found herself overwhelmed as she got into the car. James sat beside her, typing messages in a family group chat.
Typing, everyone, come home tonight.
Replying, I have a case meeting with a client tonight. Can't make it.
Michael, the second brother, was a renowned lawyer dominating courtrooms.
Replying, I have an awards ceremony tonight. I've been nominated. Can't make it.
Jason, the third brother, was a top star in the entertainment industry. Emily was actually a fan of his.
Replying, training with the team tonight. Can't make it.
Chris, the fourth brother, was the captain of the hottest MOBA game team, AG, and had just led the team to a national championship.
Timidly, Mr. James, there's really no need for such a grand gesture.
James looked at her with a complex expression before typing a few more words.
Typing, I'm bringing Emily home today.
Awkwardly, this is so embarrassing.
To her surprise, the group chat was soon filled with responses.
Replying, I'll be home tonight.
Replying, I'll be there.
Replying, I'll make it.
Confused, wait, this isn't how I imagined it would go.
Emily couldn't shake off her confusion. After all, the fifth daughter of the Su family was supposed to be the well-known socialite, Anna. Emily knew she was rough around the edges and didn't intend to compete with someone as polished as Anna.
Thinking, even if I am the real daughter, Anna has been with these brothers for over a decade. What chance do I have?
Emily had modest hopes. She just wanted enough money to cover her grandmother Grace's surgery and recovery. In the best-case scenario, she thought, they might give her a small portion of the family's assets.
Hopeful, maybe then, I could start living a carefree life ahead of time.
The opulent manner left me, someone with little experience, unable to resist looking around in awe.
Smiling, do you like it?
Fascinated, it's amazing. Did you arrange this based on my preferences?
James led me to a room and opened the door. The minimalist black and white style I adored, complete with the best computer setup, stunned me. I fell in love with it at first sight.
Gentle, I wanted you to feel at home.
His voice was incredibly gentle, completely different from his usual cold exterior. Could this be the special treatment from family? I almost got lost in this illusion but quickly regained my composure and thanked him politely.
Grateful, thank you, James. It's perfect.
They say it's easy to go from frugality to luxury but hard to go back. Since I had just finished my college entrance exams, I planned to move to the school dormitory once the term started to avoid getting used to a luxurious lifestyle. If I didn't get any inheritance in the future, I would still need to work to support myself.
Thinking, I need to stay grounded.
Meeting my blood-related brothers for the first time made it impossible not to feel nervous. As dinner time approached, I fretted over what to wear. Previously, I always wore a white t-shirt with jeans or casual sportswear. However, after seeing photos of Anna in various beautiful dresses and even dance costumes in the living room, I felt a bit embarrassed.
Worried, would it be inappropriate to dress so simply in this wealthy family?
While I was still hesitating, there was a knock on the door. It was James.
Encouraging, come on, let's go downstairs for dinner. Your other brothers will be here within 10 minutes.
Anxious, since my brothers are coming back specifically, should I dress more formally?
reassuring, "Don't worry, wear whatever makes you comfortable. They will all like you."
His eyes flashed with a meaningful look that I didn't quite understand. But since he said so, I decided not to overthink it. Just as I walked downstairs, the doorbell rang. My brothers had arrived simultaneously. If James was the reliable and composed ice-cold prince, then my second brother, Michael, with his gold-rimmed glasses, was the gentleman with a sharp gaze. My third brother, Jason, was the dazzling star full of youthful vigor. My fourth brother, Chris, was the indifferent outsider who seemed to care about nothing.
Smiling, Emily, I'm Michael.
Excited, I'm Jason.
Coolly, Chris.
This enthusiasm left me bewildered and a bit anxious. Although I had Grace with me growing up, I had never experienced such intense familial affection from so many relatives at once. The doorbell rang again, bringing my brothers back to their senses. As the door opened, the atmosphere seemed to freeze instantly. A girl in an elegant dress with a sweet smile walked in. Her posture was so upright, exuding a grace I could never hope to emulate.
Smiling, I heard my sister was coming home today, so I rushed back.
It was Anna, the girl who had been mistakenly identified as the family's daughter, and whom I had always thought of as the protagonist of this story. Emily thought she was well-liked until Anna returned.
I'm back. Did you miss me, brothers?
Anna rushed into the arms of their brothers, her presence like a fluttering butterfly.
That kind of intimacy. I could never achieve it naturally.
Her sweet voice rang out as she distributed gifts, one by one.
I just heard today that my little sister was coming, so I quickly got a gift for her. This is the latest high-end skincare product from X brand. You probably haven't seen these living in the countryside, but now that you're a young lady, things will be different.
Emily's smile stiffened. Before she could refuse, Anna forced the gift into her hands.
No worries, just take it. No need to be polite.
Anna acted so familiar and enthusiastic, making it clear she was the real mistress of the house. Emily pressed her lips together and accepted the gift, quickly sidelined as Anna was surrounded and seated at the dining table. To avoid trouble, Emily quietly ate her meal, feeling the brothers' attention shift entirely to Anna.
It doesn't matter. I don't care at all. This was what I had expected. But why does my heart feel a bit sour?
Just then, Anna looked at her, an apologetic expression on her face.
Emily, why aren't you talking?
An inexplicable emotion surged within Emily, and she felt like crying.
You guys go ahead and chat.
The dining table fell silent, Anna looking somewhat at a loss.
Emily, are you still upset with me? It's my fault. If it weren't for me, you would be the young lady of the Su family.
As she spoke, tears began to fall, making her delicate face even more pitiful. The brothers frowned.
What does that mean? Is it my fault? Are they blaming me?
Anna immediately stood up and rushed over.
Ah. Isn't this my walk-in closet? How?
She cried even louder. Emily was stunned too.
The room on the second floor has good lighting, so we moved your walk-in closet to another room.
Anna's tears fell even faster.
But, it was agreed that the walk-in closet would be next to my bedroom. I get it, it's because Emily came, so everything of mine will slowly be given to her. Then I should move out. After all, I'm just an imposter. Brothers, thank you for taking care of me all these years.
The issue was clearly more serious now, and everyone surrounded Anna. Emily suddenly felt ridiculous.
So, my bedroom was converted from Anna's.
Emily's eyes felt a bit sore as she gathered her things.
In that case, I think it's better if I move out first. I don't want to disturb you.
She stood up, expecting someone to stop her, but no one did. She left decisively, stepping out into the chilly wind. She tightened her thin jacket and glanced back at the towering villas.
Emily, get a grip.
Seeking some warmth, she reached into her pocket and pulled out a letter from Daniel, her closest friend besides Grace. Daniel, one of her few childhood friends, often spoke of wanting her as his bride.
She opened the envelope and read the note inside.
"You silly girl, wait for me." Daniel had said he'd be gone for a month to handle some urgent matters and would come back soon to find her. Worried that he might be anxious if she wasn't there when he returned, Emily hesitated about whether to go back to the countryside. A car horn behind her interrupted her thoughts. She stepped aside as a Maybach pulled up next to her, and the window rolled down, revealing her brother's handsome face.
Get in.
Emily was stunned.
No.
But her brother quickly scooped her into the passenger seat and fastened the seatbelt.
I'm taking you somewhere. I promise it'll be a surprise.
Half an hour later, they arrived in front of an incredibly luxurious estate.
I originally planned to bring you here tomorrow. After all, our parents' portraits are in the old house, and I wanted them to see that I found you.
So.
This is what we've prepared for you.
He handed her a set of keys. That night, she couldn't sleep at all, realizing her brothers hadn't forgotten to pamper her despite their fondness for Anna. Excited, she rolled around on the bed. The next day, she went to the mall with panda eyes because her brother mentioned they were going to throw a recognition banquet for her. To avoid them picking clothes she didn't like, they gave her a free shopping card for the city's largest mall. As soon as she walked in, she bumped into a woman with a large chest.
Hey, are you blind?
The woman looked disdainful when she saw Emily's face.
Anna, isn't this your country bumpkin sister?
Anna stepped forward, covering her mouth in surprise when she saw Emily.
Those panda eyes, did you spend the night in a cheap motel?
Clearly, Anna didn't know Emily had a big estate now.
Just as she was about to speak, a large group of security guards, staff, and the manager, even the CEO, rushed out to greet her with smiles.
Miss Emily, please come in. We've prepared all the latest dresses and gowns for you.
The crowd pushed the large-chested woman and Anna aside.
Well, this country bumpkin is going in to pick out some clothes. See you.
Anna stomped her foot in anger and ran off crying. Emily felt pretty good. After all, a scheming woman like Anna deserved it. The family reunion banquet gathered the most prestigious business elites of Jianghai City. Emily was apprehensive about Anna's presence, expecting trouble. Unexpectedly, Anna seemed even happier than Emily, cornering her against the wall.
Emily, this banquet is prepared by our brothers for me.
Emily raised an eyebrow, thinking Anna must be out of her mind. Anna proudly lifted her chin.
Our brothers used your name to arrange my engagement with Ethan. Now you see how much they adore me?
What are you talking about?
Tonight, I'll make sure you know that you'll always be the ugly duckling.
Emily was utterly confused, but she believed Anna, especially after hearing a well-endowed woman talking about Anna's hard work for the banquet. The wait staff were obediently following Anna's instructions, indicating she might indeed be the host. Emily felt a pang of jealousy. Her brothers were always kind to her, and she was a bit addicted to their affection. Suddenly, there was a commotion at the door. Ethan, the eldest son of the Gu family and Anna's fiancé, had arrived. A group of socialites swarmed around him.
Anna is so important. That girl from the countryside will surely embarrass herself.
Powerful Gu family would never accept Emily. Ethan will marry Anna, and Emily will be just a decoration.
Anna, looking charming, stayed close to Ethan, too busy to bother Emily. Emily quietly observed from the sidelines. To her surprise, Ethan started moving closer to her.
Emily.
His eyes brimmed with overwhelming affection, his voice choked with emotion, as if they had known each other for a long time. Emily was terrified, unsure of his intentions. Before Emily could react, Anna returned, grabbing Ethan's arm with a determined look.
Ethan, this is the sister I told you about. She grew up in the countryside and has no family. Please don't be angry with her.
Anna spoke as if she were defending Emily, acting like the true mistress of the Su family, while Emily was just an outsider.
Don't worry, sister. I only want Ethan. I won't compete with you for our brother's affection. After all.
She trailed off, looking forlorn, then forced a smile. The socialites around them immediately changed their expressions.
Anna, really? No matter what, you grew up with the Su brothers. She just arrived and wants to drive you away?
Exactly. The Su brothers haven't said anything yet, and she's already overstepping her bounds.
She's just a country girl with no family or manners. Now that she's back, she wants to take everything for herself and push you out.
They scrutinized Emily with disdain. Emily always knew she had no special talents and couldn't compare to Anna's beauty and grace. She never intended to fit into their circle. Anger flared in Emily's eyes until she heard someone say something particularly hurtful.
I heard an old lady raised her. Maybe she knew about her background and planned to raise her to scam money.
Emily couldn't hold back any longer. She grabbed a glass of wine and splashed it.
Grace raised me out of kindness and never expected anything in return. Don't speak if you don't know the facts.
The socialite screamed, and the entire banquet hall fell silent, all eyes on them. The socialite's mother quickly rushed over.
What's wrong with you? We came here in good faith to celebrate with you, and you attack my daughter? People from the countryside really lack manners. Anna is so much better than you.
At that moment, another woman approached. She looked familiar.
Emily, I understand your feelings, but our family has chosen Anna as our daughter-in-law. Even if Anna isn't a Su, it has to be her.
It was Laura, Ethan's mother. Emily shrugged, knowing nothing good would come from getting involved with Ethan.
Mom, don't say that.
Ethan angrily rebuked his mother, his voice trembling. The atmosphere grew tense. Everyone was gossiping about why Anna's fiancé was defending Emily. Did he want to marry her instead? Absolutely not. Emily quickly made her escape. She had Daniel, that jerk. How could she get engaged to another man? Ethan's voice calling her name echoed behind her.
Emily, wait.
What did he want? Was he crazy? Emily couldn't understand. These people were all so strange. In the restroom, I clutched my phone, one hand pressed against my chest. The letter Daniel gave me was in there.
You little rascal, on such an important day, I've been treated like this. When are you coming back?
After the commotion earlier, I had no idea how to go out now. Just as I was about to leave, I turned a corner and saw James grabbing Ethan by the collar and pushing him into the corner. He pinned him against the wall.
You actually came back. In this lifetime, we will never let Emily be with you.
Ethan's voice was full of pain.
I know I was wrong. I've seen through that woman long ago. Please, let me make it up to Emily in this lifetime, okay?
I was utterly confused. A lifetime? Could it be that everyone has lived many lifetimes? At that moment, Ethan spoke again, his voice full of sarcasm.
Yes, I was a terrible person in my past life. But what about you brothers? As family, you were supposed to be Emily's support, yet none of you believed her. Her misery and sensitivity, you are also to blame. If there's revenge to be had, I'm part of it. No matter what, Emily can only be my woman.
James fell silent. I heard someone coming from the stairway and quickly went down. But my mind was in turmoil.
Are they crazy? What does revenge have to do with me? I'm not anyone's woman, I'm Daniel's.
Thinking of that man brought a slight smile to my lips. But that rascal, how much longer will he take to show up? After mentally preparing myself, I returned to the banquet, and Ethan walked over. In front of everyone, he pulled me into his arms.
The person I want to marry is her, Emily. Emily is the true daughter of the Su family.
Laura looked like she was about to faint. Anna was in disbelief.
Brother Ethan, is this true? Do you not love me anymore?
I pushed him away.
Are you crazy? Who wants to marry you? Your fiancé is Anna.
I didn't care about being polite anymore. This person was utterly ridiculous. I quickly walked to my brother's side.
James, what's going on with this recognition banquet? Shouldn't we end it soon?
James had a strange expression, looking at me for a long time before cautiously asking,
Do you really not like Ethan?
This is my first time meeting him. Why would I like him? Besides, I already have someone I like.
James looked at me for a long time, a hint of relief in his eyes.
All right, next is the part where reporters will interview us. We'll take a half-hour break before it starts.
Finally, it was almost over. I walked to the lounge and lazily sat on the sofa. Someone pushed the door open and came in. It was Anna. Her eyes were filled with hatred.
Emily. Since you were mistakenly taken, why didn't you stay in the countryside? Why did you come back to steal my brother and my fiancé? Let me tell you, you're dreaming. I've had your life for over 10 years, and the next few decades will be mine too.
I couldn't help but frown. Although I never intended to take anything, weren't Anna's words a bit too harsh? In reality, I was the true daughter. All of this should have been mine. Anna didn't feel grateful or guilty. Instead, she righteously threatened me? What kind of logic was that?
Watch how I completely drive you out of this house.
She pointed at me and yelled. I shrugged indifferently. The next moment, Anna pulled out a knife. I was startled. She really dared. I immediately became defensive. Unexpectedly, she plunged the knife straight into her own abdomen. I was stunned. In my shock, she grinned wickedly and shoved the knife handle into my hand.
Didn't expect this, did you? To drive you out, I'm willing to harm myself. Emily, what makes you think you can fight me?
At that moment, many people rushed in. She crawled out desperately.
Help. My sister is trying to harm me.
Then she passed out. My hands were covered in blood. Numerous reporters came in. Flashbulbs clicked incessantly. I stood there like a clown, helpless in front of the cameras.
Miss Emily, are you so obsessed with the position of a wealthy heiress that you resort to violence and harm? Aren't you too vicious?
Is the Su family your shield, allowing you to act so recklessly?
A girl from the countryside really has no manners.
People from the countryside are so uncultured, ruining even a banquet.
Instantly, all eyes were on me. Scrutinizing, disdainful, mocking, pity. I felt like I was back in my childhood. My brothers rushed over but were stopped by the police. Fingerprint comparison showed my prints on the knife. Just as the handcuffs were about to be placed on Emily, a steady and familiar male voice rang out.
I heard today is the recognition banquet for the daughter of the Su family. I'm late, but I brought a special gift.
Emily's eyes lit up. A handsome man strode in, and she ignored the stares of those around her, rushing into his arms.
Daniel.
Daniel held her close, gently patting her head.
Officer, I think this matter needs further consideration.
He took out a USB drive, and someone nearby quickly inserted it into the media player, starting the playback. It completely restored everything that happened after Anna arrived, including her final triumphant declaration, which neatly cleared Emily of any suspicion. Everyone was stunned.
How did you get this recording?
Daniel tapped Emily's chest.
The letter I gave you had a listening device inside it all along.
Emily's suspicion was cleared on the spot, but once she calmed down, she couldn't help but look at him with a subtle expression.
You went as far as to use surveillance?
I did it for your own good. Don't worry, I'm not a creep.
When Anna woke up, the first person she wanted to see was Emily.
Emily, I've done everything you asked. Now my reputation is ruined. Please, give me a way out.
She looked apologetic, seemingly wanting to hold Emily's hand, but Emily dodged in time.
When did I ever say I wanted to ruin you?
The door was broken open, and Daniel appeared. He strode over to Emily, took out a surveillance video from under the TV, and threw it on the ground.
Plotting against Emily time and again, did you think I was dead?
Anna's expression gradually twisted, seeing the shock in Daniel's eyes. Emily suddenly understood.
This guy was waiting for me here.
Once this video is posted online, even the darkest deeds will be exposed, and Emily would be painted as a malicious heiress forcing Anna to the brink. The public outcry would be relentless, and she'd never be able to clear her name.
This woman is truly despicable, one scheme after another.
Anna looked at Daniel, her expression collapsing.
Emily, you're just a girl from the countryside. How do you know Mr. Gu?
Emily snorted, wrapping her arms around Daniel's neck.
If you can go from an ordinary girl to the daughter of the Su family, why can't I know Daniel? Daniel and I grew up together. I've already said I'm not interested in Ethan. Are you crazy? You could have just been the eldest daughter, and I would have been content with my share of the inheritance. You have a family and could marry the one you love. Isn't that enough? But you had to provoke me. Serves you right.
With Daniel by her side, Emily couldn't help but show off a bit, feeling somewhat childish. Anna's eyes were full of hatred.
You don't understand. Once you enjoy a life of luxury, you'll want more than just that.
Emily looked at her and shook her head.
I understand that it's easy to go from frugality to extravagance, but difficult to go back. But that doesn't mean everyone is like you.
Please, Emily, Mr. Gu, give me and Ethan a way out. I don't want anything else, just for Ethan to be all right.
She suddenly stumbled off the bed, kneeling in front of Daniel and Emily.
What trick is she playing now?
Daniel snorted, turning his head to reveal Emily's brothers and Ethan at the door.
So that's it. I looked at Anna with a hint of admiration. She really was persistent, not missing a single opportunity.
Emily stood silently, biting her lip, unsure why she was rendered speechless. She watched her brothers, hoping to see their genuine reactions. In this situation, anyone would think she was the one bullying Anna.
Dan's gaze at Anna was tinged with complexity and struggle.
Ha! Ethan, are you feeling sorry for Anna again?
James crossed his arms, his eyes full of mockery and disdain.
No, Emily, I believe you. Anna is just a malicious woman.
Emily gave him a puzzled look, wondering what his reaction had to do with her. Honestly, she would rather Ethan believe Anna.
Don't worry, Emily. We won't be fooled. Anna is not that simple. She's used this pitiful act to frame others too many times.
The other brothers nodded at Emily with smiles. A wave of emotion surged up, making her eyes blur. She quickly wiped her eyes.
But why? She has been your sister for a longer time.
As soon as Emily said this, her brothers' expressions became complicated.
Emily, we won't let you down again.
Chris wanted to say more, but Daniel pulled him aside.
Why? Why is this happening? Brothers, I am your most beloved little sister.
Do you really see us as your brothers? We know you've been secretly contacting your biological parents.
Anna's face turned pale as if she had been sentenced.
Biological parents?
Emily was the only one surprised. Everyone else seemed to have known for a long time. She realized Anna had been in contact with her biological parents without telling her brothers. Could it be? A bold idea came to her mind. Was Anna planning to conspire with her biological parents to take the family's assets? Her brothers were well prepared. If Anna and her parents wanted to continue living comfortably, they would have to return everything they had taken. It seemed like this had nothing to do with Emily. No, there was still one thing.
This is the man I love, my boyfriend. He has been taking care of me.
Daniel.
Ethan rushed over and threw a punch at Daniel.
How dare you go after your cousin's fiancé?
Fortunately, Daniel was quick and dodged, kicking Ethan away.
You two have long since broken off the engagement. Now she is mine.
Emily looked up at Daniel in a daze. The little boy who used to follow her around had grown into a tall man who could protect her like a mountain. Most importantly, he didn't hesitate to acknowledge her as his woman.
You know, Emily likes me. She is still my fiancé.
What nonsense. We've only met twice, how am I your fiancé?
Daniel grabbed Ethan by the collar, glaring at him.
Now I am Emily's boyfriend. Everything is different.
Ethan seemed enraged, his face veins bulging.
Why do you get to be first?
Maybe because I'm the only one who hasn't let her down.
The two seemed to be speaking in riddles. Daniel looked sullen.
What's with that face, Daniel?
Emily reached out and poked his side. Daniel burst into laughter.
Hey, cut that out.
See, you're laughing. Why pretend to be so serious in front of me?
Emily's face beamed with pride. Suddenly, Daniel turned serious.
You, whatever you do, don't fall for him. Promise me.
What's gotten into you? Do you think I'm that kind of person? I already have you.
Really?
Daniel's eyes lit up instantly.
Of course. What, do you want me to change my mind?
Don't you dare.
He suddenly got nervous and hugged her tightly.
You already like me. You're my girlfriend. For this lifetime, no, for all lifetimes, I will never let you go.
Relax, relax. Maybe you'll be the one who can't handle the family pressure and will break up first.
Emily casually patted his head, looking calm. A few days later, James found Emily.
Emily, I've joined a reality show called Me and My Family. Can I bring you along?
Emily was slightly taken aback.
But, can I really?
She wasn't sure if her brothers truly loved her. Anna enjoyed their love but had done something so heartless. It must have hurt them deeply.
But I'm just a newly appeared sister. They probably wouldn't care much about me, right?
When this season of Me and My Family was being prepared, many fans were calling for Jason and Anna to join together. James directly posted a statement on social media, saying he only recognized Emily as his sister.
But I wasn't willing. I already believed in your kindness, but your high-profile actions might cause fans to leave, right?
James seemed to understand her concerns.
Don't worry, Emily. You're my sister. I want to bring my sister on the show. It's perfectly natural, and no one can say anything about it.
Perhaps because of James's and her status, the other guests were very friendly to them, and the recording went smoothly. When the show was about to air, Emily couldn't help but feel a bit excited.
This is my first time on TV, and with my idol, my brother.
The internet exploded with comments.
Who is this woman? If Jason is invited, why isn't Anna here?
Could she be his girlfriend? Oh my, I thought we would finally see Anna, but he brought his girlfriend instead?
Latest news, this is the real daughter of the family. With the real daughter back, Anna has to step aside.
The news about the real and fake daughters of the family stayed on the trending list for days. At first, people were just gossiping about the wealthy family. But then the narrative changed. Anna had her own social media, often posting selfies, food, and beautiful scenery. Because she was the supposed real daughter and was pretty, she had quite a few followers. Most importantly, she would occasionally post photos of her brothers as a treat, attracting various groups of fans. Eventually, it turned into Emily, the real daughter, coming back and immediately demanding Anna to leave the family. She was accused of wanting to take everything from Anna, including the spot on the reality show.
I thought enduring the gossip in the small town when I was young was dark enough. But now, opening the internet to see Emily should disappear and similar comments plunged me into despair. Why can people be so cruel? I didn't do anything wrong. I was the one whose life was taken away.
The door was knocked. It was Daniel. With teary eyes, I threw myself into his arms.
Take me away, please? I don't want any inheritance, just take me away from here.
I knew it wasn't James's fault, but ever since I came to this family, in just 2 months, I had gone through too much. I was utterly exhausted.
Those scoundrels. Let's go.
But I never expected that he would take me directly to his home. Seeing the dignified yet kind Mr. Ethan and Mrs. Laura who hugged me to comfort me, I was stunned. Hiding in the room for days, disheveled, I met his parents like this?
Emily, we know you're a good child. Don't worry, our Daniel will make sure you get justice.
A soft, comforting hand landed on my head. I longed to know what it felt like to have a mother. With Daniel around, I felt at ease. But I didn't expect my brothers to take action as well. First, Michael firmly reclaimed everything that belonged to the daughter of the Su family from Anna. James personally attended the court hearings. Jason and Chris, as if unshackled, publicly declared that they had only one sister, and that was me, Emily. Even Ethan came forward to clarify.
My engagement with Anna had been annulled long ago. She has repeatedly tried to frame and threaten Emily. Here is the evidence.
Suddenly, online opinion turned against Anna, making her a pariah. I was shocked. Why did it seem like Anna had become everyone's enemy, with everything being taken from her and given to me? On the street, Anna had truly lost her mind. She drove her car straight at me. Through the windshield, I could see the hatred in her eyes. She wanted me gone.
Roar.
The engine roared. It was about to hit me. Daniel rushed out.
Bang. Blood splattered.
I held the fallen Daniel tightly.
Help. Somebody help.
Anna staggered out of the car, laughing maniacally, truly deranged. I glared at her with hatred, wishing I could slap her. But right now, Daniel was the priority. My brothers arrived quickly, bringing the police with them. Everything was so chaotic, I only knew to hold on to Daniel tightly. At the hospital, the doctor came out with a serious expression. My heart sank. I swore, if Daniel didn't make it, I wouldn't go on either.
Daniel.
Desperate and determined, I tried to rush in. The doctor stopped me.
Don't touch me. He's my patient, my responsibility. Without him, I'd be gone already. Let me in.
My brothers all came over. No one could stop me. I rushed in, seeing the pale man on the bed. He was so good to me. He loved me so much. Why was fate so unfair? I didn't want anything else. I just wanted to go back to the town, to have him, to have Grace. Was that too much to ask?
I cried until I was choking.
The man on the bed coughed.
Daniel?
He's a strong young man. He'll be out of the hospital in 2 days.
I turned around sharply.
Then why did you look so grim earlier?
I have a naturally serious face, can't I?
Then why did you stop me?
The patient hasn't woken up from the anesthesia yet. I didn't want you to misunderstand.
I vaguely remembered that during the surgery, the doctor had communicated with my brothers. It seemed he had said that Daniel was so strong that they had to increase the anesthesia dosage or something. Everything was a blur, so my brothers had known all along that there wasn't a big problem. And my dramatic reaction just now.
So embarrassing, everyone must have seen my foolishness.
Judging by my brother's looks, I was already feeling quite ashamed. He held me tightly in his arms. Very tightly. As if holding on to a precious treasure regained.
Emily, thank you for loving me.
Ethan turned and left with a bitter smile. I glanced at him.
I wish you happiness in finding your true love.
And with that, the chapter closed on a tumultuous. Anna was imprisoned. Life sentence. My brothers had previously hatched a plan to encourage Daniel to introduce me to his family and marry me quickly. They have always loved me deeply. Later, I discovered the reason behind their unusual behavior. They had all been reborn. Yes, reborn as fantastical as it sounds. My brothers, Daniel, and Ethan.
Why did they act so strangely in the past?
In the previous life, not a single Daniel saved me from my most desperate moments. In the previous life, Grace was diagnosed with a malignant tumor when I was in high school, and I lost my last relative.
In this life, it was also Daniel who came to the town and took Grace and me for a medical checkup. The tumor was detected early, and it was benign at that time.
In the previous life, I became a complete orphan and fainted due to malnutrition while working during the summer before university started. Coincidentally, my eldest brother rescued me and inadvertently discovered my true identity. I was brought back to the family. But at that time, Anna was genuinely favored. Because of Grace's passing, my obsession with money became incredibly deep. It wasn't just about money. I kept thinking, if I had been discovered as the eldest daughter of the family earlier, Grace wouldn't have died. If I were the eldest daughter, Grace would have had enough money for treatment and monthly checkups.
Anna's constant provocations accelerated my descent into darkness. Later, by a twist of fate, I fell in love with the only person who had ever reached out to me, Ethan.
But Ethan loved Anna. Everything was hers.
My extreme and dark personality, coupled with Anna's manipulations, made my brothers even more reluctant to approach me. I reached a breaking point and acted against Anna. Then I was sent to prison. Later, Anna married into the family and began to secretly target my brothers. As for the reason, she had actually discovered long ago that she was not the biological child of the family.
What happened next?
Her biological parents had found her. They were from another small family. Anna and her biological parents started conspiring, leveraging my brother's love and trust to seize everything from the family. One by one, my brothers were harmed. With the support of our family and the other family, Anna's biological parents' family quickly rose to prominence.
After my brothers' deaths, I was released from prison. I bore no grudges, collected my brothers' ashes, and arranged for them properly, honoring them every year. And what about you?
I realized that after hearing everything, I wasn't particularly sad. Instead, I curiously poked Daniel's chest with my finger.
Me?
A dark and obsessive little girl can also be noticed by someone.
Due to childhood traumas, Daniel became a playboy. But he was redeemed by a girl who appeared dark on the outside but was always filled with sunshine and warmth inside. However, he wasn't the girl's sunshine.
His youthful indulgence made him lose the ability to protect the girl. Fortunately, everything has a chance to start over.